Hi, I'm Ellie, and this is your weekly theatre news recap, the show where I tell you news, but I do it chaotically, because it's the only way I can do it. Yes, I'm going to tell you all of the news from the past week surrounding West End and UK tour and theatre, and if you want more, you can subscribe, because I do these every week, for some godforsaken reason. Now let's dive in with our casting news. Starting us off, we are heading over to the Menier Chocolate Factory, the only theatre name that makes me very hungry when I say it, for The Baker's Wife revival, which the second after I recorded my video last week, they announced all the casting, and I was like, oh well, guess that's waiting till next week. So, we have Lucy Jones, the icon, the legend, the moment, who will be playing the baker's wife, the titular baker's wife. We have Clive Rowe, who's playing the baker. We have Bobby Chambers as the niece, Mark Extance as the teacher, Josephina Gabrielle, icon, legend, the moment, fantastic, as Denise, Jack Gardner as Philippe, it's an E on the end, it's Philippe, Hannah Ichijo as niece, the two nieces, double the niece, Michael Meatus as the Marquis, Robin Rose as another niece, there's many nieces, the nieces all around, everyone gets a niece, you get a niece, you get a niece, everyone gets a niece, Matthew Seedon Young as priest, David Seedon Young, runs in a family, and Joaquin Pedro Valdez. That is a cool cast. There's a lot of really fun names in there. Yeah. So if you wanna go to a theatre, go to that one. If you want to see this musical, I feel like I've got to go for Lucy Jones. Oh my god. Anything that Lucy Jones touches is gold, and I am there for it. Next up, we got a surprise casting announcement for Shrek, as it was revealed this week that Todrick Hall will be returning to the London stage to play Donkey in Shrek the Musical. This is transferring to the Eventum Apollo in Hammersmith for 6 weeks from the 19th of July, after finishing its tour last month. Very exciting. Next up, we're just gonna steamboat through, because there's a lot of casting news this week. Hamilton. There's some great announcements in here. First off, Alex Sawyer. He is returning to the role of Alexander Hamilton, having previously played the alternate Alexander Hamilton, moving up in the world. Next up, the amazing Jay Perry returns to the production, playing Aaron Burr. Oh, yes. Yes. We have Nathania Ong, who's going to be playing Eliza, Thomas Vernal, who's going to be the new George Washington, Jordan Castle, who's playing Hercules Mulligan and James Madison. We have Jordan Benjamin, who is probably one of the cast members in this announcement that I'm most excited for. He was recently in The Little Big Things. He will be playing John Lawrence and Philip Hamilton, which is like perfect. Oh, he's going to be so perfect in that role. And we have a new alternate Alexander Hamilton being played by Adam J. Bernard. We also have some ensemble members who will be in the description down below. They're exciting. I'm heading back to Hamilton. I think I'm seeing the current cast before they leave. So I guess I got to book another trip to Hamilton to see this new cast as well. Very cool. Next up, we got the cast for Heathers. This cast is heading to the West End at Soho Place, and then going on tour. And these new cast members include Jenna Innes, who is returning to the role of Veronica Sawyer, Keela McCauley, who is playing Jason J.D. Dean. We have Esme Bowdler, who you may recognize from Mamma Mia, I Have a Dream. It's so lovely to, pick up their names in casting releases and seeing them all succeed after being on the show. She is playing Heather Chandler, which is beautiful. We have Sedona Sky as Heather Duke, Daisy Twells as Heather McNamara, Amy Miles as Martha, Lucy St. Clair as Miss Fleming, Ivan Fernandez Gonzalez as Kurt Kelly, Jason Battersby as Ram, Alexander Service as Kurt's dad, and Connor McFarlane as Ram's dad, as well as an ensemble who will be in the description down below. There's quite a few returning names in this cast, and I can really tell I'm losing my voice as I say this. Maybe today was not the day to film videos, but however, let's see what my voice continues to be like as we journey on through this video. But even in the ensemble who are in the description, we have May Teva returning, obviously Jenna's returning. There's a lot of returning names in here. So very exciting. I've got to catch these guys on tour. Next up, some of the most exciting casting of the last week. Cabaret. I was sat waiting for Spirited Away to start when I looked at my emails and saw this casting announcement. And I didn't even see the name of Sally and MC because I was immediately so excited at who was playing Schneider. Which tells you how strong of a casting announcement this was. So we have Leighton Williams as the MC. Really want to highlight the fact that this is our first POC, our first person of color, playing the MC in this production, which is something I have really, really wanted. We have Rhea Norwood as Sally Bowles, who you may recognize from Heartstopper. We have Sally Ann Triplett as Fraulein Schneider, who has actually played this role fairly recently. She was Fraulein Schneider in the France production. And honestly, she is such talent. She is so good. She can give you both. She can give you comedy. She can give you a darker edge. She is going to bring that balance as Schneider. It's going to be so good. I'm so ready. And we have Fenton Gray as Herr Schultz. These cast members are joining from the 3rd of June. And I'm assuming that this booking period specifically is for Leighton Williams and Rhea Norwood, where they'll be playing up to the 21st of September. Typically, the cast members as Schneider and Schultz stay on for a little bit longer, but we'll have to wait and see. I need to go back. I'm sorry. I need to go back. I'm waiting for these guys to come in because I need to see Sally Ann Triplett as Schneider. My bank account is not ready. I can't afford it, but I'm going to go anyway. Somebody donate 50 quid down below under this video so I can afford Cabaret. Don't actually do that. You don't need to do that. Please don't do that. Next up, Burlesque. We've had so many casting announcements for Burlesque, but now we have the final cast member joining the production. We no longer have to talk about casting for Burlesque on this show. Finally, the casting is completed by Broadway star Jackie Burns, who is playing Tess. This is the role that was originated by Cher in the film Snap Out of It. That was a terrible Cher impression. I can do better than that. Hold on. I'm Cher, bitch. There we go. I fixed it myself. Snap out of it. I can do one. I promise. Very exciting. Moving on to 101 Dalmatians, another show that I feel like I keep talking about every single week. But we have the rest of the casting for 101 Dalmatians, except we're still missing one Cruella de Vil. There's still a bunch of tour dates that don't have a Cruella de Vil. We will have to wait on that. So we will see 101 Dalmatians back in this show. But completing the company will be Charles Brunton as Casper, Jesse Elland as Danielle, Danny Hendricks as Jasper, Linford Johnson as Pongo, Samuel Thomas as Tom, and Emma Thornett as Purdy, as well as a plentiful ensemble who will be in the where description down below. Next up, it's an onslaught. We're still going. Tina, this is the last casting news of the week. We can get through this. Tina has announced their new cast members. They've announced that Karis Anderson, who is currently starring as Tina, will be staying on, but there is a new Tina sharing the role, and that is the amazing Zoe Burkett, who you may recognize from The Witches or from the Great British Bake Off musical. They will both be sharing the role of Tina from Tuesday the 25th of June. They are joined by Roland Bell, who is joining the show to also play Ike Turner. We also have a lot of casting news for the ensemble and for minor roles, who will be where? Description down below. That is it for casting news this week. Let's head on to concerts, where we've only got one to talk about this week, and that is Peter Joback. The current star, I don't think he's actually in it anymore. I was about to say the current star of Les Mis, but I don't think he's Jean Valjean anymore. But he was Jean Valjean. But he is returning to the role of Jean Valjean in Sweden for the world tour later this year. So he will be Jean Valjean again. I just don't think he's Jean Valjean right now. Anyway, he is doing a concert at Cadogan Hall, which is taking place on Sunday, the 22nd of September, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Moving on to our miscellaneous news, we have some news that's really interesting, actually. The National's Dorfman Theatre is going to be going into renovations. This is going to be happening in November, and this theatre will be closed until mid-2025. They're doing a lot. I think they're adding, new rigging. They're fixing up the lift to bring sets into the theatre that has an official name, but it's gone out of my head. The something lift, whatever that is. Yes. So they're doing a lot of work on the Dorfman, which is really good to see. There's so many theatres that I wish could get a little bit of extra work done on it. So I guess I've got to try and go to the Dorfman for the first time before it closes, and I can't go to the Dorfman for a little while. So yeah, that's really cool and really exciting for the Dorfman. Next up, we have 2 pro shots to talk about. First off, Bonnie and Clyde, filmed live in concert at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, is finally getting released. We have been waiting for about 3 years for this filmed concert starring Jeremy Jordan and Frances Maynard McCann to be released, and now it's going to be made available for on-demand streaming. You can go to www.bonnieclydelive.com and pre-order Bonnie and Clyde the Musical filmed live, as it's officially called, ahead of its release on the 24th of June 2024. And if that wasn't enough for pro shots for you, you can also expect the Waitress pro shot. This pro shot that got released in America is getting released into UK cinemas on the 20th of June 2024. You can go look up cinemas to see if it's coming near you. Knowing my luck, it's probably not near me, so I probably won't be able to see it. Hopefully they'll release it on a streaming service over here. I mean, I think it's on Amazon Prime in America, so maybe Amazon Prime over here? Question mark? Who's to say? Please put it on there so it's more accessible to me who is poor. And now, before my voice fully leaves me, we can head on to our transfers and new productions. First off, My Sons Are Queer. Oh, you thought it was only going to go to Edinburgh? Bet. We are getting a UK tour of My Sons Are Queer. It's heading to a couple of different locations that I don't have in front of me right now. It's so good to see My Sons Are Queer come back and return to do loads of different stops around the country, which are the Curve Leicester from the 8th to the 10th of July, Birmingham Hippodrome from the 11th to the 13th of July, Belgrade Theatre Coventry from the 15th to the 17th of July, Everyman Playhouse in Liverpool from the 18th to the 20th of July, Derby Theatre from the 22nd to the 24th of July, and then it's doing a little stint at the Underbelly McEwan Hall, the largest venue at the Fringe that's owned by Underbelly, from the 1st to the 16th of August, and then we'll conclude its tour at Home Manchester from the 19th to the 25th of August. None of those tour stops are very good for me, but you know that I gotta go. I have to go. Maybe I'll do Fringe this year. I don't know. We'll find out. That's the news. I'm so excited. I'm so glad the show is back. I'm just giddy, you know. This is one of my favorite shows, and it means so much to me. And I was so sad to see their Broadway plans not go as intended. So I'm so glad that there's still a life for My Sons Are Queer, and hopefully very soon they will get another announcement that they will be going to Broadway, or at least to New York. Next up, Redcliffe. This musical, written by George and Luke Gage, will be getting a public workshop at the Other Palace following their workshop at MT Fest. This will be happening from the 29th to the 31st of May. I'm very intrigued, and I hope they can continue to refine the show and get a full run soon. Next up, we are heading to the Young Vic, where we got an announcement of A Face in the Crowd. Now, really, I probably should have put this one in casting, and I'm realizing this now, but shush, I don't think I've spoken about this on the channel yet, so we can go into new productions. Be quiet. I definitely didn't screw up and put this in the wrong category. You put it in the wrong category. This is your fault. Ramin Karimloo and Anushka Lucas are set to lead the world premiere of A Face in the Crowd, featuring a book by Sarah Rule, songs by Elvis Costello, and is playing at the Young Vic from the 10th of September to the 9th of November 2024. This is great casting. This is fantastic casting. It definitely should have been put into casting, but I'm shut up. Next up, ending the video today, we have 2 tours to talk about. First up, Rocky Horror. They have announced not only a stint at the Dominion Theatre from the 6th to the 20th of September, coming in post Sister Act and pre-Devil Wears Prada, and will be going on a UK tour as well. This is a show that's always touring. It just finished one world tour, and it's hopping on to another. This is going to Bromley, High Wycombe, Fareham, Malvern, Bath, York, Glasgow, Cardiff, Woking, Blackpool, Sheffield, Liverpool for the festive season between the 3rd of December to the 4th of January. Southend, Edinburgh, Newcastle upon Tyne. And that is the stop so far, but there will be more to be announced. Starring in this, as previously announced for the Fareham dates, is Jason Donovan, who is not currently scheduled to appear in Malvern, Woking, Liverpool, and on the following dates, the 30th of August, the 28th of October, and the 4th, 5th, and 23rd of November. So if you want to see Jason Donovan, don't live in Malvern, Woking, Liverpool, or want to see theatre on those dates. And finally, in news this week, thank God, because my voice is really, really going, we have The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe. This production, which originated at the Bridge Theatre, moved West End to the Gillian Lynn, is getting yet another UK tour. This is obviously based on the book of the same name, and is getting a very extensive UK tour, where I will definitely be saying every date and won't lose my voice by the time I finish saying all of these theatres. This will open at the Leeds Playhouse, a theatre that also originated it. I should have mentioned that 5 minutes ago. This production also was devised by the Leeds Playhouse. Yes. And is returning there this Christmas from the 18th of December to the 25th of January 2025, before visiting... oh God. Leicester Curve, Cardiff Millennium Centre, Liverpool Empire, Theatre Royal Newcastle, Theatre Royal Brighton, Orchid Theatre Dartford, New Victoria Woking, Princess Theatre Torquay, Wickham Somme Theatre, Cliffs Pavilion Southend, On Sea, Grand Opera House York, Grand Opera House Belfast, the Energy Theatre in Dublin, Festival Theatre in Edinburgh, Alexander Theatre in Birmingham, Regent's Theatre Stoke-on-Trent. I'm really struggling this time for some reason. King's Theatre Glasgow, His Majesty's Theatre Aberdeen, Eden Court Highlands Inverness, Inverness, that's how you pronounce it. Norwich Theatre Royal, Marlow Theatre Canterbury, Milton Keynes Theatre, Winter Gardens Blackpool, Llandudno, Congress Theatre Eastbourne, Aylesbury Waterside, and the Sunderland Empire. Why was that the most difficult one of these I've done? I feel like it's because I'm really losing my voice, but that is all the theatre news for this week. I'm going to go take a lodging. What are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me out, helps the channel. Here's some links to some other videos on screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you want to drop me a follow over there. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Oh God, my throat.